Yo, 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 what's up, guys? This is Captain Daniel, and we got Gandhi. So, this is kind of our second talk. So, the setting is, we're just talking as bros, man. We're good friends, and we just have a lot of things to just talk about, and we all have our own opinions. And today, first of all, Gandhi, introduce yourself. I feel like this is your introduction now. You're kind of the
What
part of
up,
the main thing.
everybody? My name is Gandhi. I think you guys, I don't know if you guys watched the last segment, but yeah, we're going to be doing this weekly, just talking about different things that we've encountered over the week, and just chopping it up as boys.
Yeah, so me and Gandhi, so this is mainly focused on women dating. Success, like I said, like everyone has their own version of it. So I want to mostly talk about my experiences and also Gandhi's. And we're gonna talk about life and definitely money, cars. No, I'm just kidding. But so the first topic I want to talk about, I saw this Instagram post by this girl, and it really pissed me off, Gandhi. Okay. So basically it wrote, real men don't chase 100 girls. Real men makes 99 girls jealous of one.
Was
And
it a quote or was it a photo?
it was a photo with a quote on the bottom, and she's wearing a bikini with a thong or ass showing, right? She's one of those,
Uh,
hey, don't get me wrong. It's an Instagram girl. It's an Instagram girl who has about 100K, 120K followers, and she was making a comment. And it seemed like all the girls loved her post. She's like, oh, that quote is fire, mic drop, like, oh wow, fire quote. And all the simps were like, oh, I would chase you. Everyone, what's the definition of simp? Gotti, what's your definition of simp? I'll tell you mine.
just a pussy. A guy that will do a dude that
Oh,
that just will, just doesn't get girls, and as a result, if he does get one, or for some reason attracts one girl, just gonna hold on to her. Basically, a
I
pussy.
just I just came up with my definition of a simp because I still think gentleman's still there, right? You should still be a gentleman. But I think a simp is, oh, I saw you laugh. What's that look, bro? What's that look about being a gentleman? Let me give you my definition. You guys explain that look. So I think you
I'm
should
not
still be,
laughing. I think it's funny.
I think a simp is a guy being nice to a girl and giving and sacrificing his worth because he's not worthy enough to have that girl, he thinks. So basically, he treats this girl like a queen, but he's a peasant. You know what I'm saying? Like he does all the things. He gives up his life savings. He does flowers and all stuff when the
Yeah,
girl literally looks at him as a peasant. But
but
I do
dude,
think if this, yeah,
but I mean, it didn't mean to interrupt, but I mean, doesn't it kind of go down to the presence, or a man that usually does that is somebody that doesn't get women. So as a result, think about it like this: if you don't make money, right, and somebody gives you $100, you're going to start jumping, right? If you
yeah,
don't
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
and you get one girl, you're going to clinch and hold on to her and fucking give her everything that you can possibly do to provide value because you don't want her to leave.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. No, and that's in a way a sin. That's why I got angry about not angry. I got triggered.
I agree. I don't like
But
pussies or simps, to be honest with you.
why'd you wait? Why'd you smile about gentlemen though? Because I want to go back to that because I still think a man should open up the door, but now he could smack his girl in the ass while she's walking the door. I think holding the door for a girl and being sexual and dominant is still a thing. I still
Oh,
would send.
I 100% agree. I look, dude, I laughed because I agree, but I think that some men confuse being a gentleman and being chivalrous with being overly friendly and overly nice. So that's why
Oh,
I laughed.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, dude, without question, I'll always open the door for a woman in my car. I'll always do very gentleman-like manners. But dude, like, that's just how I am. So I wholeheartedly think that I like what you mentioned about mixing dominance with being a gentleman. I fucking love
Yeah.
that because I do.
Yeah. 100%. So actually, there's so many topics. One more topic I do want to talk about, but let's go back to that quote and I want to ask you questions on it. So the girl said that, and I wrote to a response to her story. I actually like shared her story on my story without showing her face or
Oh,
her
did you really?
Instagram.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
but I didn't share her whole self. I didn't share her because I didn't want
Yeah.
her to like
Well,
go people like go comment on her. So I said, no, real men chase success, career, family, brotherhood, and loyalty. That's what I said. And I was gonna add that women are a bonus, a cherry on top. Like the partner, the ideal partner, the queen, or whatever, or multiple
yeah,
girls.
I
Here's the
like
thing.
that.
Most kings had harems, bro. They had one queen they really loved, right? Right? They had one queen, not even love, probably. It was
Back
probably
in the
like
day, they
royal
had
blood.
multiple. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And back in the day, they did, which, in this age, you can't just have a harem, right? Even right now, Hugh Hefner's getting destroyed for having that lifestyle. So I totally get it, but I think real men chase their purpose, right? There's a book I read, The Way of Superior Man. Everyone should read it. I don't know if you read it, but it basically talks about a man's purpose, right? A woman should never be a man's purpose. A family could be a man's purpose, but a woman, the sole goal of getting the hot girl, this girl pedestal, Victoria's Secret model, which in my industry, in the game community when I first got in was all about that, get the hottest girl. But he's saying that that should never be a sole purpose.
I
So I
agree.
said that should be a man should not chase.
But
Uh,
I'm going to be honest with you to play devil's advocate because I always play devil's advocate. I'm going to be completely transparent. When I grew up, dude, I thought women were the end goal.
yeah,
Goal, to be completely honest with you. So when up until I was like fucking 23, my main focus, I'm going to be honest with you, Danny, was money was a byproduct, but I would say my number one focus was women.
dude. So I mean, I actually paid money. On the funny part is I paid money to get how to learn how to get women. So this quote triggered me because in a way, I'm a coach who helps. If you look at my job description, you probably it shows that, oh, I'm a guy who helps guys chase women. And this is the question I wanted to ask you before we got on. I kind of asked you about this. What's the difference between chasing and pursuing women? Chasing, if you look at the word chasing, right? If I'm chasing you, Bhrigu, I'm like, hey, Bhrigu, wait up, I'm chasing you. If I'm
Yeah.
pursuing you, I'm trying to like catch you. I'm trying to be like, I feel like there's different terms you could use because I don't teach guys to chase women, which is interesting because a lot
I,
of girls think I
I
do that.
understand. I think what you're doing is, I look at the end of the day, I think it all stems down to personal development because I think like if you grow yourself
Yeah.
physically, mentally, socially, then a byproduct of that is you're going to attract more women. So I think that's what you strive to do is you try to teach men to become better versions of themselves, and a result, they're going to attract more women. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, the end goal. So initially, I do tell them, hey, back in the day before Tinder and all these dating apps, we actually had to go talk to girls. You, on the other hand, got lucky. I think not lucky. You worked hard. You used the club promotion where the girls, you DM them, but they come to you. But
Yeah.
most guys, we did the whole like, go on the street, talk to girls, and and night we did. And it was hard, man. I remember like one night I would do 40 girls. I counted 40 girls. I got zero numbers, zero conversation,
You
right?
want to know the secret to that, dude? You should just do what I did, which is make YouTube videos of like clever ways to pick up a girl. And dude, the success rate on that is like 70%.
Oh yeah, because you got the mic, you got the authority, whatever, right? You're
That's
like a
a,
YouTuber.
that's a key. And then if they reject you, you say, "Oh, we're just filming."
Yeah. No, it's true. And
That's the key.
but most students would not do that, right? I can't teach a guy, hey, go get a mic, go get a YouTube because they don't have the confidence to. If I saw one
Yeah.
of your videos, you have the confidence for it. I actually had to teach these guys. But the issue with
Dude,
that
I feel
was
like I feel like low key if you were to like do a one-on-one training with somebody and you just fucking mic them up and told them, hey, go out there and fucking, you know, say something ridiculous as a pickup line, I think it would truly build their confidence. Because honestly, dude, like that built my confidence to a whole nother degree. Because when I
yeah.
was able to do that and cold approach a woman and say some stupid line or try to get her to kiss me on spot, dude, like I think that helped me overcome all barriers of women and attraction.
So were you scared about doing that? Were you actually
Oh,
scared of
100%.
doing that?
Yeah, 100%. I didn't want to do it,
Yeah.
bro, but I know we talked about this last time. I just feel like sometimes just doing the things that you don't want to do is usually the things that yield the biggest return.
So how'd you? Oh man, okay, that's another thread that we can go down. Okay, we have to go back. We go back. Okay, so here's the thing. This is a good way to go jump into this topic. So we kind of go over the girl. Anyways, we all agree that a man should. Let's go round about the first topic. Let's just summarize that so people knew. So right before this, guys, we talked about because this is what happens when you have conversation topics everywhere. But the first topic was what should a guy should guy chase one girl, make 99 girls jealous. So the answer, me and both. What's your answer? No, right? A male man should not
Absolutely
chase
not.
one girl.
No,
No,
no.
me too. I think he should chase himself. He should make sure he's perfecting himself, and I think he should have other values like it could be friends or family, and it could be a girl, but I think he should chase a girl of high value. And that's where I actually want to ask you before we move on to the next thread. what's a real woman to you? And I actually made a comment, but it was more of a nice comment. It was like a nice comment, so I don't get canceled on Instagram. But what's a real woman to you, honestly?
Mm, that's tough, man. I mean, for
You want to
me,
know what my answer was, or
yeah,
you want
what's
to go
your,
first?
I
No, I don't
mean,
want to. I don't want to sway you. I don't want to sway you. Actually, I want to hear yours.
no. I would say my answer is when I look for a woman, I just look for someone that embodies like feminine energy. So like for me, I know you mentioned high value, but you kind of, you kind of swap that. I would say like for me, I just look for a woman that has a lot of feminine energy because I know that I'm always going to be there to protect and provide for her. So I don't really need anything else besides someone that's super feminine. And to be completely honest, I'm old school. I want my woman to make me a coffee in the morning. I
Oh,
want her,
100%, bro. In
you
lingerie.
know,
In lingerie, you know what I'm saying? Or
yeah.
my white dress
Yeah.
shirt, bro.
Oh, 100%. I like little things like I make my bed every morning, I
Yeah.
will wake up before my woman all the time. So I want her when she wakes up to make the bed. And little things
Yeah.
like that's all I need her to do. I just need her to be feminine and I need her to do feminine things. That means clean the fucking house if it's dirty, clean up after herself. Like and to be
Oh,
honest,
yeah.
that's what I look for, bro. And yeah, dude, I might
Yeah.
get women that don't like that, but fuck it. I mean, I don't need you in my fucking life.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Here's all the people who are watching. If a woman about equal rights or feminists watch this, we're not saying a woman who doesn't do it's not attractive or it's not hot. I'm just saying we want women that way. That doesn't mean
No,
we
I'm
are
gonna be completely
anti-feminist.
honest with you. If a woman doesn't do that, I do not find her attractive.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like that doesn't mean that those aren't girls that we other guys would find attractive, right? Like I think this is where feminists have to and we
Simps
have to be
and
careful.
pussies would find them attractive.
No, but listen, no,
I'm
listen.
kidding. I'm
This
kidding.
is where
Guys,
I know you
I'm
are
totally
joking.
messing
He's
around.
joking. He's joking. But like, we're not saying we just have a type. You know what's funny is when we say we like girls to cook or we like girls who like make us coffee, that doesn't mean we're anti-feminine. We just like girls who do that. So for me, my definition of a real woman, I made this first on the quote in Instagram. Said a real woman, dot, dot, dot. I actually don't know what a real woman is. And this is what I wrote. It's because I'm not a woman. And this is something I want my students or my potential clients to know. Stop giving advice to women and stop listening to advice from women. They're not men. They don't have a penis. They will never know what we go through. But also, as a man, you should never act like you know what a woman goes through. You don't have to have a baby go through your stomach. You do not know that. You
Yeah.
don't know how it goes through as
Look,
a
bro,
woman through the world.
you're right, but it's a trade-off. I genuinely think, yeah, look, that's hard, but what's harder? I think if you look at your traditional man and woman relationship, the
Yeah.
man typically starts from nothing and has to work his way to fucking X, Y, and Z.
Oh, 100.
And
Yeah, yeah, of course,
you know,
of
for
course.
for for 2, 3 decades, and then you have a woman whose path is very similar, but they don't have any pressure. They don't have anything, and yes, they have to fucking. My mom had to raise 4 kids, and she talked about how horrific of a process it was. But yeah, it sucks. But I think that there's trade offs to both.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think with women though, this is why whenever so I do like work with staffs and stuff, and I work in the modeling industry in Thailand right now, right? So it's interesting how the women are beautiful, and sometimes the staff team or whatever they obviously don't get paid for do looks. They do pay for do makeup and stuff. And for me, what I realized, a beautiful woman's life, if she's born beautiful, her life's easier from the start. Like her life
Yeah,
is blessed. And someone made a comment on YouTube that a beautiful girl will never be poor if she uses her look somehow,
a hundred
right?
percent.
But this is where because I told you I used to be fat and whatever. This is my path, but I still have this soft spot where when I see an quote unquote, let's just say in our eyes, maybe she's considered unattractive. I do feel like I understand their lifestyle. So I always treat those women like not those women, but women like that kinder for me because I
Yeah,
feel like they have a harder life than an
I
unattractive
mean,
man.
look, this is
Because
a
I
hot take, and to be quite honest, it might get a little bit of shit for it. I think life as an unattractive man is much harder than life as an unattractive woman because I think that there's a marketplace for any woman out there. And that's
but an
the whole
unattractive man could work on himself that's why I'm extra kinder to unattractive women is because here's the thing. I don't here's
Yeah, I
my thing.
agree. I agree to an extent. Yeah, but I think that life as an unattractive man is way harder than an attractive woman.
But here's a hot take. For me, my business mostly starts with a man who's considered unattractive and he comes. But why does he come to me? And why do I even have a
I don't
business?
think it's
Because
unattractive. I think the men that come to you are men that lack confidence.
oh, that was actually pretty
Because
good.
I
That's true.
genuinely
That's
think that
true. That's true.
if you look at the last 100 clients that you serviced, I would
That's
say
true.
probably well over 80 to 90% all struggle from one thing, and that's confidence or believing in
That's
themselves.
true. Because they're actually, I have all mostly Asian clients, and most of the Asian clients, I mean, you're Indian, and Indians the same thing. Because I've seen all the Indians friends that I had in school work hard, study hard. They're like beat the white guy. The white guys, they have sports. Let them do the sports. You do the violin. Well, for me, do the violin, the orchestra. Study hard. Get the AP classes. Get the nice
Damn,
SAT
I'm
scores
surprised your
going to
Korean
Ivy.
dad told you. I'm surprised your Korean dad told you to fucking play the violin.
Dude, because bro, they knew they even Asians know. Okay, this is how
Because,
fucked up
dude,
Western media is.
honestly, Korean men are masculine to a degree in
Now,
relation.
now it is. Now it is in the sports. But back in the day, dude, you rarely see an Asian superstar in sports. So back in the day, they're like, stop using because what I think Western media portrayed is white people are big, black people are
Your
big.
dad was. Would you say your dad was very do, 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 he how would you say he was how would you say he raised you?
So here's the thing about my dad, right? I remember I 5 years ago, a couple years ago, I never saw my dad as an alpha. I was like, yo, you beta as heck. I hope my dad could watch this and actually hear this because I used to think he was a simp. And it actually changed recently this year, the way he treated my mom. So my mom, I think, has a minor bipolar disorder or personality where she just is she is truly feminine, then she's chaos. They say feminine energy is real chaos. If she's too feminine, it's like she doesn't know she's emotional. And I just looked at my dad's backstory, right? The way he stayed in Korea, let my mom go to America to stay with my aunt while he makes money in Korea so he could go back to America with more money. Every
Yeah.
time our family needed money or housing, he left early and worked hard. And
I
my
respect that.
family did cleaners. And in the summer, it's really, really hot.
Dry cleaning or
It's
cleaning houses?
dry clean.
Oh, nice. It's a good
And in the
business.
summer,
Where in
it's
Seoul?
no in America.
Oh, no way.
And
Where in America?
it was in Jersey, in Jersey.
Wow,
So
nice.
but it was a very hard job, bro. I mean, that's the thing. It's a service work. It's not an easy job. And I remember I was like, I'm never gonna live like you, Dad. Like I always saw him
How
sweating.
many
I
cleaners did they
always
own
saw
now?
him. Oh, dude, we weren't the Koreans who. That's why I want to get very, very, very rich because my parents weren't able to be the Koreans who made a lot of money from it. They actually struggled, and now they work part time. And it's not. And you know what? Honestly, you could be like, "Oh, you're just being easy on your." No, I actually am not being easy on my dad because he, my dad has one of the best personality ever. Like the way he makes people laugh, the way he makes the room have energy is so good. But the biggest thing is he made a sacrifice. So my dad actually had a great job in Korea, but at the time Korea's economy wasn't good. I think he was like working towards he was a businessman or like working towards a lawyer company. He was gonna possibly be a lawyer, but he had to go to a better school. But Korea at the time, this was like India, the economy was shit. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Korea you see now was really bad. But he made a decision to go to America where he actually at first we lived in Alabama, one of the most racist cities, states in the world,
I heard.
and like legit racism. So for me, my dad, I finally saw who is the real alpha in my family. It's my dad because he doesn't have the same opportunity. You could say like there's other immigrants who really came to America and made the most out of. They're rich as fuck, whatever, all that stuff. But I think my dad, honestly, did the best that he could with what he had and I really, really respect him for it. And I think for him, his legacy is me and my brother. And I think for him, his alphaness comes through us. And I want to make sure I become the best fucking man that I can be. So one day, my dad, everyone knows how awesome my dad is. Just because my dad's not rich, my dad doesn't have muscles, he's not jacked. or he doesn't have multiple houses, I want my dad to be seen through my story that the Kim name is Alpha. That's how
That
my dad rose.
that makes sense. I mean, what was the question? And I think I kind of spiraled you into a whole nother subject.
Yeah, you said how did my dad raise you? But let's go back to you mean our question back and forth,
Well,
right?
your original question, yeah.
What's a real woman to you? That was next.
Okay.
But you kind of answered it. That's kind of answer. We kind of answered. We both don't know actually, right? We have our own version of it. Like you have your own version of real woman. My own real okay, I'll tell you my version of real woman. Dude, it's like my mom where she stayed home sometimes. I loved it when I didn't want my dad to stay home, dude. I wanted my mom to stay home, wake up, make me breakfast. I was like, hey, come over, and even though she yelled at me, she cleaned the room. She would like just sit there, cut us fruit and stuff. Sometimes she would like, just do mommy stuff, bro. And I feel like for me, that's feminine and that's what I want in a woman too. So, it's not that me
Agree.
and you are anti-feminist,
She
but
has to wear a robe 24/7.
my girl has to be naked, bro.
Oh, I like it.
So
Well,
let's walk
my
around
girl
naked.
can be naked inside the robe.
Ooh,
That's fine.
that's good too. Okay. All right. Next question. So let me see how much time. Oh, we're like 10 minutes. This is a good
I
question.
also
Okay.
think
This is
I think we should do these on should we do these on Friday?
yeah, whatever you want. Just let me know. It's my Saturday, so I can do it.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
we do Friday at like 7. Is that too wait, what time is it out there? 7 p.m. my time.
What time? Right now, well, right now it's 11:30. So 7 p.m. was it we did this 7
I'm
p.m.
at
Thursday or
8:30
we did
right
8?
now. I'm at 8:30 right now. If we did an hour before, that would be 10
Mine would
your
be
time, 30.
so on the weekend, on Friday, I might sleep a little bit late, so I'll keep you posted. We'll talk about this after. If we keep it still at 11, I know you're gonna go sleep. But
Oh,
let's do
me?
Friday next week. Let's do
Yeah.
Friday next week. All right, last question, and I want you to answer this because I feel like this will help. How do you handle when guys are better looking than you or when they have more money than you? So you go to a club like Bootsy in LA or Warwick, and somehow you see a girl, right? You have girls at your
Yeah.
table, and then you're interested in one girl, but all of a sudden, well, LA it happens all the time. You see a celebrity or a good looking guy, but let's say this is an Indian guy, Gandhi, that you could kind of like look the same way. He's an Indian guy, but he's more handsome than you. He has more money than you. So, but this is the Indian guy. He's not a white, he's not a black, he's Indian.
Impossible.
So, but
Impossible.
that
Let's say
mentality, right?
let's say we're in a AI universe where that's possible. Danny,
So,
okay?
okay,
For
let's say, how do you
somebody to
deal with
be
that?
more successful than me and better looking than me, let's assume it's a separate reality, okay? I'm gonna
Yeah.
be honest with you, Danny. All jokes aside, I don't even look at it, man. I'm just so locked in because let's be honest, bro. There's always gonna be someone better looking than you. There's always gonna be someone stronger than you. There's always gonna be someone that's more ripped than you. There's gonna be someone that's richer than you. So I don't know, man. I just stay in my lane. And I know that when I was younger, that those are thought processes that I've always had. And I know like growing up in an Asian household, my mom would always compare us to other people, right? So I just told
Yeah.
myself early on, comparison and is the number one contributor to depression, low confidence, and negativity in your life. And I told myself I'm absolutely a beacon of confidence. So I'm only going to have positive thoughts. And what does that mean? If I see something that I dislike, I'm just going to look at it and just move on. So everything that I do is just, with positivity and control the shit that you can control, man. You can only control how positive you think you think. You can only control how confident you are when you speak and articulate your words. Just focus on self-mastery and, think good shit will come from it.
Mic drop, bro. That was a mic drop. That was actually really, really good. No, dude, you know why I asked that? Because I actually went through something personal, bro. So
Oh, wow.
I, yeah. So, I just had that job in Vietnam where I was working with other models. So
Mm-hmm.
honestly, when you work with
Wow.
other models, some guy, yeah, yeah, yeah. So honestly, you work with other models, they're always gonna find someone good looking. But an industry
Of
where
course.
looks is literally your number one value. It's not money.
Of course.
Just as because you're rich as a model, you're probably not working as a model. For me, I got lucky where I do have
Danny,
money.
you're a good looking fucking guy, bro.
Yes, and I believe that, right? I
You know,
believe that. But what happened?
I've had women that like dated me and were like, "Oh, this guy's so handsome." And I'm like, oh, is he handsome? Is he better looking than me? And then they would say, yeah. This was like a few years ago, but yeah, dude, I've had a few women say that you're better looking than me.
No, I appreciate that, which is funny because I actually think you're really good looking too. It's a very interesting. We create this world, but let me create you the story of why this goes also back to my students is because there's this one Korean guy who had the look of like a K-pop model that even the staff, all the girl staffs loved him. And I could
Okay.
tell because I game, right? So for me, I break down the difference I think between you and me is not that like the only thing is I'm very like I could break you told me, hey, how'd you talk to that girl? I could break it down step by step. You for like, bro, I was just myself, bro. I was just being me. And I was like, that's the difference between like I guess a coach is because we have to teach the students. And I think with the girl, well, with this guy, I saw the attention go to him and I saw my own insecurities kind of go down, right? So it's something that I experienced from my students too. My students were like, Danny, sometimes I would go out with them. And you know what I do when I go out with the students? When we get a table, you know what I do? I actually leave the table for 30 minutes to an hour, bro. I literally bring the girls and I leave the table for like an hour unless they need me to like hype it up. I come back. So sometimes, bro, during coaching, I'm outside in the rooftop of the smoking area, just staying there and waiting at my phone, like, okay, students, when do you guys need me? Because I have an assistant coach kind of hyping me through because of my look sometimes takes over the whole table, right? So I experienced for the first time when my students go through, because some of my students have that insecurity. They're like, man, like, how can I be that guy who's taller, more jacked, rich, or he's also at my table? Because the thing is, let's say you have a friend, he's your friend, but he's at your table, Gandhi,
Yeah.
and you can see that all the girls are flocking to him. Even if the girl you like, let's say the girl you actually like, he's a good friend of yours, and they all flock to him. And I
Look,
realized you're right. Just like,
you just got to stay in your lane. And then also, dude, you got to live in the mindset of abundance, right? Like, there's
yep,
like when you go
exactly.
out there, dude, like there's going to be a woman for every man. So it's like if you
Yeah.
have somebody that you truly like, dude, and she's fucking into somebody else, there's nothing you can do to change that, bro. It's just natural attraction. It gears us towards somebody, just like you were geared toward that girl, that woman, and she's either into you or
Mhm.
she isn't. If she isn't, fuck it, move on.
100%. I think that's exactly why I respect you, Ganesh, because I could tell you're always about abundance, right? Even when we're just like you're buying me a cigar or something, you're like, bro, don't worry, I got it. And I'm just like, you just don't care. Just like more money's to be made. There's more women to be like hooked up with. And I think that's one thing I want to fix from my dad. So that's one thing my dad kind of showed me. He was very frugal with his money.
My
And
mom
I
too.
did hear that. Yeah, and it's like I think there's a balance though. You can't just go out and spend Ferrari money just because you have it. I just if you don't want it, don't buy it, right? So for me
Yeah.
personally, if I had the money to buy a Ferrari, I'm not gonna buy a Ferrari just to have a Ferrari, right? I'm gonna do it because I actually want it. So yeah, man, I think today we gonna keep it to 30 minutes and we got like 2 minutes. So do you have any last words? Like any so I guess at the end I wanna start with like another advice, right? For a guy to go out, right? The first time was a workout, right? To improve himself. I think that's what he said last call.
No,
What is
that's what
one
you
advice
said.
you could give? Oh yeah, you said something different, right?
You said
What you
workout.
say?
You're the one that came with the most generic piece of advice.
All right, then you step up with another good advice. What's another advice you could give
Oh, I
men?
will. So just go out this week and just focus on one more, right? So whether you're, in business or at work and you're tired, just remember it's one more phone call, one more rep at the gym, one more, hour of going out there and gaming, one more hour of coaching, whatever you got to do, just tell yourself that, hey, I'm going to do one more for the week. And you'll slowly start realizing that if you compound that over time, over the month, over the quarter, you're going to get results. So just, work on yourself daily and understand that every day is important. Every day you've got to force yourself one more, right? One extra rep, one extra hour to talk to Danny, one extra hour to watch this video. I'm kidding.
30 minutes actually. All right, all right. In